I'm good to go.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go. Come
Look
on.
tired.
Who does? You?
Me, yeah.
You don't seem tired. All right, you ready to go? Let's lock in. Lily, let's lock in. Let's get down. Come on, let's go. All right, hello and welcome back to actually scratch that. Happy Easter, right? Today's Sunday, Easter Sunday. If you celebrate Easter, it's a really wonderful holiday and a special time of the year. So to those who celebrate Easter, happy Easter, right?
Happy Easter.
All right, a quick shout out to a couple of people. Number one, you see to my left is Liliana. And by the way, this is Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is 20 weeks old yesterday.
This is Mofo.
So he's 20 weeks. If you follow, sorry, we got all these little notifications popping up, but if you follow the 5K tennis family, then you know that this guy is still very young. So he's pretty big. Let's go. And he got the new Sub-Zero collar, by the way. So you see the Sub-Zero collar, Sub-Zero 5K. Let's do that. All right. You want to grab him? Is he good?
He's fine.
Okay.
He's chilling.
All right. Couple shout outs to begin today's show. Shout out number one. Shout out number one is going to be for our lovely and wonderful middle child of 5 children, Liliana, who just turned 13. So happy belated birthday. Our last show, she had not turned 13 yet. She was 12, and now she is 13. Right? How do you say that in Spanish? Trece. She is now trece. Trece años.
Big 13.
Trece años.
Yes.
Okay, Liliana, and we have some big news on multiple levels to start today's show. Number one, Liliana is in 7th grade, and she just turned 13. And in Alabama Public High School in the 7A division, you have to be in 7th grade to be able to play high school varsity tennis. That is to be on the teams from the 9th to the 12th graders, right? And you can't play any sooner than that, right?
Right.
So Liliana played the state sectionals tournament this past week, just a couple days ago. It was a 2-day tournament, and Liliana won that. She went through varsity girls, much her senior, and won that. So congratulations and shout out to Liliana for winning her state sectional. So she goes to state tomorrow, which is held at the Mobile Tennis Center, which is a lovely complex with a lot of great people. And she is going to do her best as a 7th grader to put, I guess, 7A Mobile County on the map, hopefully, as a 7th grader. But I must say, Lily, there will be a lot of really, really good girls there. And I hope that you were just able to get a good match. Maybe the best. I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I hope you get the number 1 seed in the first round. Just so you get the feeling.
She won't get the number 1 seed. We'll know at around 5 o'clock. She won't get the number 1 seed because usually what they do is if a school wins individual. Actually, no, what am I saying? You're the only one that went individual, I think. No, there's one more school. Remember Christopher, the kid that he played?
Yes.
That school has 1 girl going in, and they usually put them against each other.
Yes.
So
yeah, look, I always tell my children as I raise them into the game and students that we teach, I always tell them prior to a tournament, look, maybe we're not super wealthy or whatever. So if I'm going to travel to play a tournament, just give me the number 1 seed in the first round because I got to beat them anyway to win it. And I don't want to spend another night somewhere if I'm going to lose anyway. So I want to go ahead. And tackle that.
I disagree with you.
I think the best player.
I think you need to warm up, especially someone like Justin. He has to warm up into a match. And sometimes, like Serena, I think a lot of you guys have seen her. She kind of warms up through the tournament. Like she sucks in the beginning and she starts warming up as she gets to the finals. I think some people need those extra matches to get better or to get adjusted. So I disagree with you. I don't think I would want to pull out the number 1 seed. I would want to wet my feet first and know what I'm getting into and get a feel of it and then start winning.
Okay, so I'm a slow starter, and that's quite good because she knows me, I think, better than I know myself at times. I want to start fast physically, but mentally, she's right. I start pretty slow. Lily, would you prefer to play the best there is in the first round and get it over with, win or lose, or would you rather warm up into it and win a match or 2 prior?
I'd rather warm up because, jumping straight into it, that's just... I also take a little while to warm up, so I feel like I would not do very well.
All right, fair enough. So we are going to give just a couple more shout outs, and we're going to start the topics, and we're going to talk about Tsitsipas, and we're going to talk about Monte Carlo as a whole. We're going to talk about Swiatek. We're going to talk about my fourth oldest of 5 children is going to make the decision of where he goes to college. So either we or he, if he gets back, we will tell you what his college selection was. And again, Christopher has had the choice of either going to Vanderbilt University on scholarship, the United States Coast Guard Academy, which is it's like a scholarship. It's an acceptance. It's all inclusive.
It's tough to get into there.
Very
Chill
tough.
out,
Also, he is going to choose between West Point and as well the United States Air Force Academy, right?
He also got a full ride to the colleges that he chose through NROTC, which is a naval scholarship. So he had that choice as well.
Incredible job for Christopher, and he or we will let that information out here just momentarily. Also, a shout out to her brother, Liliana's brother, Christopher. He not only in the past week has been accepted to West Point, which is a naval academy in New York. He was also accepted to the United States Air Force Academy, where his older brother is. He was also accepted into the Coast Guard Academy. However, we found that out a couple weeks ago. And he also won state sectional. So Lily, the 7th grader, and Chris, the 4th, her just older brother of 2 older brothers, won state as well. So both of our children won their respective divisions at state sectionals. Chris being a senior and 2-time champion, he won it last year as well and repeated that. Played the same young man in the final and took the title once again.
He whooped his ass.
6-1, 6-1. It was.
So
yeah.
during regular season, this boy was beating Christopher 7-2. They played A-game pro sets with no ad. 7-2, and Christopher came back 7-5, and it rained.
Yeah.
So I stopped the match. Me personally, I stopped the match because I thought it was dangerous. I was thinking academy, not tennis at that point. But like he told me, he's like, "Oh, Mom, don't worry about it. I got him in sectionals." He's like, 1, I wasn't playing on my turf. 2, I can't see in the dark. It was, they were playing under the lights. He whooped his ass, 6-1, 6-1.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad beatdown. And also too, the young man's a fine young player. He's a nice kid, but when they play, he always says, "Let's go" on the first point. Like they play a match and the guy hits a winner on the first point, and he's like, "Come on, let's go." And it takes kind of our crew off. So we chant extra loud, and it's no offense to the young man, but Carla, you've played as a tournament player since you were very young. I have as well, and Lily has as well. How do you feel? How do you feel when you play a match and the first point, knowing that this opponent is well off and has all the latest stuff and all the latest gear, and maybe that we don't. How does it make you feel if you're playing and on the first point you were to double fault and they say, "Let's go, come on"?
In my head, I'm like, I'm going to kick your ass. But I'm going to wait till you come to that. I'm going to give you a little taste of my medicine, and I'm going to make you pay the price for saying that.
Tell you what.
But I think this time we had the whole Alma Bryant High School team going, come on, especially teachers. We were all cheering.
Yes. Shout out to the whole Alma Bryant crew. That's the high school our children go to that they won their state sectionals for. Generally, we play these matches because the high school that they go to have no tennis courts. They have no tennis courts whatsoever.
He's not happy Tsitsipas won.
Do you want me to grab it? Do you want me to grab the dog?
Yeah, put him over there. He's not happy Tsitsipas won. He's upset that Tsitsipas won. I mean, he's really upset. He's not happy that Davidovich lost that match. He said, "How could a man like Tsitsipas win?" Well, he defended his title, as we know. He's heavy, isn't he?
It's heavy, bro.
Yeah, I told you.
Man, tell you what, you got to work out just lifting that sucker. Okay. Again, so the problem that we run into is most of the schools that we play, have facilities to go to that are nearby, and they have a place to practice, or a teaching coach somewhere nearby that can facilitate or help them when it's possible. And we have none of that. We coach, and yes, we coach at a location, but it's an hour away from where the school is, or 40 minutes or something. So to lose a match to a group of people from the other side of the tracks, especially those that don't have access like they do, much less not their own tennis courts, it hurts. It digs deep. So I think the underdog always goes into the match ready to go, right?
Mhm.
Unless it's like an underdog that's not trained very well.
Mhm.
But if you're a hungry underdog with confidence, watch out, right? And Lily did that. All right. Anyway, don't say let's go on the first point during a match. If you play a point in a match and it just started, you just serve, first serve in, like ready to go. First ball. Toss, serve, hit, rally. I dump it in the net. If your opponent on the other side of the net is saying let's go already, come on. Get lost. That just pumps me up.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna kick your ass after that.
Yes. Okay. Our special guest today is Liliana. She's been here a couple of times daily, but not on camera. We were so very proud of what she accomplished this past week. I did, though, want to kind of humble her down a little bit, and I wanted to ask her a few realistic questions, and hopefully she doesn't get mad at me. But again, we coach and we treat all of our kids the same. Work your ass off, work your ass off, work your ass off. If you don't, someone else will. So guess what? Go work that ass off.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, special guest, Lily, are you ready for this? Lock in, dial in. Let's go, girl. Come on. And by the way, Liliana has got a couple of really good weapons on court. And we'll talk about that in these questions. Okay. Question number 1, Liliana. Are you ready? Come on, Ric Flair. Woo! Okay. Question number 1. Liliana, you went through quite a long time where you would say things like, I suck. I can never win a tennis match. Everyone's better than me. Here as of late, you have not lost a match. Now, granted, you played a practice match yesterday with one of our lovely students who we love like a daughter, Mary Michael. And I watched it from afar. It didn't look like you really tried very much, but neither here nor there. I'm talking official matches on paper where it counts. Okay. You haven't lost in a while. You've been undefeated for quite a while now. What happened? How did you go from I suck, I don't know. How did you go from that to I haven't lost in a while and holding up a trophy as the 7A District Girl Champion of Mobile County? What happened?
I feel like I was saying that because I never really
Gotta get my phone.
played matches or had the chance to play them. It would all be with family or students of my parents. So
You played tournaments before, though.
yeah, and I lost miserably in all of them.
Not miserably. I think the last tournament you played was in Mississippi.
Yeah.
It was a tight match, but I think that you did not know how to play on clay. 1, 2. The girl was taking points away from you, and you didn't know how to fight. You know, she was calling balls that are out. When it hits the tape on clay, it makes a funny bounce, and you didn't know that. And I think you know that now.
There she is. You see her?
Stop making so much noise, guys.
All right. Just wanted to show you the pictures.
Okay?
Okay. All right. Next question. Sorry about that. You know, we've got this antiquated setup. Got to grab my cell phone to show you a picture, not a whoosh, pow on the screen.
I don't think we'll ever figure that out just because we don't have enough time.
Yeah, like
We really don't have enough time. This is our day off, and
Yeah.
Justin's like, let's do a show.
And by the way, thanks to all of you. It's Easter Sunday, a really important holiday, a new beginning type thing, and we enjoy spending time with you. Look, I don't sit down while we're grocery shopping and drive and then drive back and write 5 pages of notes. It's that we have passion for this, and there's no place I would rather be except at Mirror Lake teaching. We have happy places in the world, and I have 3 happy places. 1, family. Oh no,
I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. It's not the elbow.
Yeah.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
1, family. As long as I'm around family, I'm good to go. B, if I'm on a tennis court, good to go, right?
Mhm.
And 3, writing these shows, knowing that we're going to talk with you, absolutely priceless. Okay. All right, Lily. So you indicated what happened, that what you usually play with adults, and do you ever think that what actually happened is when you said these things, you were like 9 and 10 years old, and now you're just turning 13 and you're kind of growing up, maturing a bit. You're learning that people can be really shisty and shady and flaky. And you're starting to learn that as tough as we've been on you, maybe that's starting to pay off. Have you ever thought about it that way?
Not really. I've always just thought, I don't know how to explain it. I never had that confidence and still don't really have it, but it's a lot better now.
Sure looks like you were confident in that final. It looked like you were more than confident.
Blakely was there.
It looked like you were.
Lately's on our cruise and watching her.
Let's go.
What a dedicated person.
Man, that's a good Wi-Fi signal. You know, she's on the cruise. She's got clear internet.
Woo!
She's got better internet on the cruise than we got on Dolphin Island. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we have lived on Dolphin Island for the past 7 years. We've been really good tenants and so forth. We got a letter in the mail the other day. Just wait.
It doesn't matter. We've
Wait.
already talked about this, but
Dudley, come back though.
I'm actually done with Dolphin Island. I'm actually ready to move. I'm ready to start. I don't know why you even bring the negative.
I'm not bringing up.
You
the
already
negative.
said it.
Okay. Anyway,
times.
we have to move, and where I was going with it is we have to move suddenly without.
That's
expectation.
great. I think it's time to do it.
Yeah, as what Keith said, it's probably a sign.
Yes.
I think our show is turning into a kids' zoo like we always have.
No, it's a dog.
All right. Anyway, but what I'm getting at is life is tough. Okay.
Yeah.
When life is tough, sometimes happy places are good to have, and this is one of them.
Joanna says some people seem to be quite hard on themselves, perfectionists. I saw Swiatek shouting to herself when losing, "You are so stupid," and then still winning. And that's exactly what my daughter does. There's some times where I see her winning points and she's winning the match and she's still not happy, you know, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think champions are never satisfied, and that's how you should be. If you're satisfied, then you'll be like Raducanu, and you'll be like TM, or you'll be like Zverev, who's satisfied with his ranking and all the money that he's making. You'll be like many other players that just won one Grand Slam and they were happy with that. A true champion is never happy. If you look at Djokovic, he's always mad. If you look at Nadal, he gets upset when he's not winning. Federer too, you know, even though he doesn't express his feelings that much, you can see it that he's not happy. And I think true champions are never satisfied with what they have accomplished. They want to accomplish more. And that's why you have people like GOATs, you know, that they are the best. Michael Jordan, I mean, that's a great example. He wasn't happy. I mean, he wanted more. And that's how it should be. If you want to be the best, you want more. And that's it.
You said it perfectly on the first word. You didn't say Raducanu. You said Raducanu. I think we've agreed the fact that Raducanu hasn't been anything special since she won the U.S. Open, and directly after
that. And I already said she will never be special. We said that before.
She wasn't special when she won the U.S. Open.
I mean, she won a junior U.S. Open, in my opinion.
She was a cute girl that had this.
Cute. I've seen cuter girls.
Just saying, this is how the media spun it. She was a cute girl, and she won the hearts of the people that don't really understand tennis that much, that maybe just look at the girl. That's about it, honestly, knowing that
she's not that cute. I've seen cuter girls.
She's not that special. So we said this before. Anyway, not to get back into it, but Raducanu got thrashed again by Vondrousova, isn't she? Like Vondrousova, 6-1, 6-1.
Again, she won a junior U.S. Open where many players were not playing. It's the last slam. People are tired. They get injured. Not taking anything away from the U.S. Open. It's my favorite slam, but I felt like I was watching two juniors play. I mean, that's just reality. I didn't see any spectacular tennis. To me, it wasn't like when Serena won her first U.S. Open championship. That was something special to see. She whooped ass. You know, even when Sampras won his first one, he whooped ass. When Marat Safin won his first one, he whooped ass. Even Roddick had to go through a lot. She didn't whoop ass. There was nobody there to whoop ass. It was just a subpar. You know, it's like Wildlife asked me, who's your favorite player? None. There's none. There's no one that I can say is special right now. I just can't. There's no one I can gravitate towards like I did in the 90s and the 2000s. There's nobody. I mean, all these players to me look the same. It's like if I go to a USTA tournament right now and look at all these juniors, they all look the same. Unless they're beating people 6-0, 6-0, they all look the same.
Is there one player at all? Let's take Djokovic out. Let's take Federer out. Let's take Nadal out. Is there any player out there right now that Liliana or you, Carla, gravitate towards if they're playing? You have an inkling to want to watch it? I mean, is there any match you would hit the record button in case you were going to miss it?
I like watching Alcaraz. I think he's entertaining to watch. He's got that energy that I enjoy watching. I truly like Tsitsipas' game. I like his one-handed backhand, but he's a sissy ass. But I actually enjoy his game. That's the game that I would like Lily to watch. He has a beautiful game. You know, he's very aggressive. I like the fact that he comes to the net. As far as any other youngster, no. Women's, no. I would have to go back to the old school players. Again, there's no one. There's not. Swiatek doesn't do it for me. Osaka I enjoy watching, but she still needs to figure some things out. I wish Andreescu would come back. Sabalenka, I just saw her in a bathing suit, a thong.
Who?
Terrible body, by the
Who
way.
did?
Sabalenka.
Oh, you showed me that. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
that
a
is
pretty
just not.
sight.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it
It's
wasn't
like me
pretty.
posting a picture on Instagram. I wouldn't do that to you guys. Just saying.
Can you find that picture? Because if it's a public thing, so right now, Iga Swiatek has won what 20 matches in a row.
And good for her. Maybe I'll. I just,
you know. But do you think Iga Swiatek match streak is less important than it would be of, say, Steffi Graf's win streak back in the day?
I mean, why would you?
There's really not a lot of depth.
Why would you post a picture of yourself
that's
like
granny booty?
No, it's not granny booty.
That is
It's
granny booty.
That bathing suit is tough for anyone to pull. I mean, like, this is not sexy.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's just not sexy.
That fits
I'm
wrong.
sorry. It
That
just
wrong
doesn't fit right. You know,
Wrong
there's
fit.
some clothes that don't
Wrong
fit our
fit.
bodies right. That wouldn't fit me right. You would have to be maybe on an Ivanovic Sabatini type of body to fit that right. Her type of body doesn't fit right. My type of body wouldn't. Serena wouldn't even rock that bathing suit. Just saying. And not even Sloane Stevens. It's a certain type of body that fits those type of cutout one-piece bathing suits.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Someone should have told her, no, don't post that picture.
Fair enough.
I mean, she looked like Eugenie Bouchard there. Just terrible.
Good. Yeah, she did.
It was just awful.
She looked like a linguine noodle wrapped in a piece of cilantro or something like that.
Emma lost her toenails. Poor baby.
We're going to talk about that. Who said this?
Gene Schwartz.
Gene Schwartz. My father, who's 84 years young, who was out working out with the kids yesterday, he sent a big, long message. He's a physician, so he pays a lot of attention to things like funguses and toenails falling off and stuff like this. He sent a message talking about this yesterday, and I will definitely get into that as a topic. I have that written, Raducanu's toenails. Yes. But don't worry, because we're going to dissect that a lot deeper here in a moment. Back to Lily, though. Back to Lily.
Let's go, girl.
Back to Lily, okay? Because I know she probably wants to do her teenage thing because she's a teenager now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear beast monster. Big time serving Lily. Get some of this happy birthday to you. What's up?
Thank you.
That's how we do things around here. Okay. Question number 2 for Liliana. Okay. Question. Liliana, you have arguably, and I want you to understand, arguably, one of the best service motions and serves that I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that because you're my daughter, and I'm not saying that because you're a girl and you're here, whatever. I'm telling you that because you know if you sucked, I would tell you suck, and you know that, right?
Sorry.
Okay. Don't worry. So you look, we have Carla and I have a mindset that we're not going to say great shot if it sucks. We're not going to say, great ball. You played really well. If you played like shit, we're going to tell you suck. So I wouldn't bark up her tree with anything but the truth. Right. Okay. Ask Jonathan, ask Chris. They're headed to, anyway. Okay. You have one of the best service motions and one of the strongest serves, female or male, that I've ever seen at 13 years old, and she just turned 13. Okay. Now, for a server like you, look, I'm being humble, but I have a big serve, and not a lot of people can handle it. And I'm not talking smack. I'm just saying, okay. Big servers have something that goes through their mind when that perfect toss rolls off their fingertips. Knowing it's your major weapon. Like most people on the tennis court have a couple weapons, like big forehand, nice net game, and a serve. Some people have a good defensive, or a big inside-out forehand, whatever. One of her weapons, if not the main weapon right now at her age, is her serve. Would you agree?
Agree.
She's got
a way better serve than I did.
She played at an adult clinic yesterday and was serving to the body of them. She didn't even have to aim it to the right or to the left to pass for the big serve in the corner or up the tee. She just served right up the middle, and they couldn't even get out of the way. It was like hitting them in the balls. Did you see that one? You remember that one? You served one and hit him right in the balls?
Kevin, yeah.
Yeah, he could not get out of the way of that rocket ship. But anyway, when a big server goes after that ball, they're looking at it, leaves their fingertips, and for a split second in time, they're like fixing to snap their hand up there. What goes through your head when you are going to elevate to get that ball?
Get it in. Don't double fault.
Really?
Get it in. Yes.
That your serve can be better then, because that's a negative thought.
Yeah. When
you
I
don't want to think that way.
Well, I used to think like you when I was a junior, but when I serve now, I'm like, you're screwed. That's what I think. That's how you should think. When I serve to somebody, I'm thinking you're so screwed, but I'm thinking the worst word.
Really? So this is
Yeah,
I'm glad
you gotta fix that. Yeah.
I'm glad I wrote this question. So when you go to get that ball for a split second in time, because it only is like a nanosecond between power position and going freely, and you know you have to snap. I always tell people serving when they're learning it, because they have a different grip than what most of these kids around here when we meet them have been taught. Most people throw a forehand grip on. Anyway, but I always tell them, imagine there's 1,000 red fire ants on their hand, right? They're swarming your hand, but they haven't bitten you yet. You have one chance to get those fire ants all over your hand and sling them off. Okay, one chance. Like having water on your hand, slinging it off. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell. That's how fast that point of impact has to be on that big serve. So what I always think when I'm going after the serve is, I hope this person's ready to return this. So what we want to do is we want to try to scratch that thought. We want to try to scratch that thought. We don't want to have a negative thought going after the ball, because what happens in dominoes? If we have one negative domino, then we have a chain reaction, right? So I'm glad I asked you that. The fix for that is serve, and serve some more, and eventually you don't even think about it. It becomes like breathing. When you wake up in the morning, do you think about breathing? You're like, hey, hold on, Mom, you just woke me up. Hold on, I'm about to choke. I gotta think about breathing real quick. Let me breathe. Okay, I got it. I'm thinking about breathing now. We're trying to not think about serving the same way.
William said, many happy returns to Liana. P.S. We all feel the parents singing cringe moment. But as we get older, we realize is the love. It's.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Are you telling me when I was singing you were snarling your face? Really?
We all do.
Who snitched on her?
William Spencer.
Let's go, William. Love you, bro.
I was cringing too.
You were cringing? Both of you were cringing?
Well. It's like, happy birthday to you.
Really? Okay, let me ask you another question, Carlita.
Yes.
So we're having a tournament coming up, by the way,
Yeah.
our second tournament at Mirror Lake.
Yeah.
And we're having a tournament, and it's the Cinco de Mayo and Mother's Day Classic.
Yeah.
And on the middle night, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. On the middle night, we hired a karaoke / DJ. So you're telling me you want to go at a karaoke battle?
That's easy.
You want to battle at all?
That's easy.
Man, I tell you what.
That's not even competition.
I'm going to snap, crackle, and pop her in a vocal cords.
That's
like
not even competition,
Rice Krispies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, back to Liliana. She indicated that what's going through her head is, let's get that in. If we can change that thought process to a positive instead of a negative, your serve gets better. Okay? Scratch that thought. All right? I had one little asterisk written here.
Sorry, Liliana, but we all recognize that feeling.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, look, I had an asterisk written next to this point, and then we'll shift to the next question. I had an asterisk here. My dad wrote you a demographic or a map the other day about a court, a net, and then if you let the ball drop too much, it won't go over the net, right? So don't let the ball drop really at all. Maybe just a smidgen to hang in time. When it goes up there, you want it to get up, rest, and attack it. You don't want it to go up and then sag, and come down. We're letting the ball drop too much. So make sure you elevate and go after the ball, and don't let the ball come down on you. Okay, loose hand, snap, fire ants off. Let's go. All right. Next question. This is an honest question. Okay. Your mother, Carla, here, has always had dreams for all of our kids, and I know that both older boys have ascertained their dream at Air Force Academy. They both got in.
You just told them.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. Christopher, our fourth of 5 children, and if he's down here, he can come in. But he's talking to people about this. But he has selected the United States Air Force Academy to go to with his brother. So on June 24th, Christopher.
23rd.
June 23rd. Okay, leave it to the lady to pick out the details. But yes,
I read it.
He will depart from here and join the United States Air Force as an officer, or at least going through the process of becoming so. And he will be in Colorado Springs with his brother and this summer. So we've got like 40 days to see him off, right?
Yeah, we were going to decide to drive, but my older son is being sent to an Air Force base. So I thought maybe driving and seeing them both.
And we still could do that.
We still could do that. So we don't know yet. We'll see.
And what she's getting at is, so you can either get a plane ticket and let your son or daughter fly to the Air Force Academy, and you hug and say goodbye at the airport, or you can drive them there and drop them off at the gate. Civilians can't go in the gate, so you drop them off at the gate type thing. We found out though, if we drive them out there, which we'd never have done. Last year, Jonathan flew from here.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. He flew from here 2 years ago. We wanted to drive this time. However, Jonathan is now ending his sophomore or dually year at the Air Force Academy. And he is already being commissioned to a base for the summer to learn operations and command there. So more than likely, he won't be there if we drive Christopher out. However, Carla, what I was thinking is in the past 12 years, myself or I, Liliana, none of us have ever been on a vacation. We've gotten nowhere, and we've worked 6 and 7 days a week for at least the past 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be so bad just to even drive him out?
No, I would love. I mean, I didn't think I was gonna get emotional with Chris, but I guess I will.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was. I thought I was gonna be like, yay, but I realized I'm not, and even you will cry.
She's not crying. She's not crying. So yeah, help us vote on that. And
I gotta
again,
go through it again, and then I gotta go through it again with her, and then with a while through that one.
yeah. And think about it though. So if we're not teaching tennis lessons or having tournaments or keeping up with facilities and so forth, we don't survive. We
might have to just work. We might not have to take a day off.
7 days a week for the next couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so vote on it. Help us figure that out. Should we never take it? I mean, we only take one day off anyway, and we're going to the store then anyway. Should we just work continuously and then hope to be able to afford to take? And remember, to drive out west of Colorado is 2 days out and 2 days back. So you want a couple days to relax. So you're talking 7 days being able to afford not teaching. That's a big thought process. Have to think about that one.
Joanna said you deserve a time off.
Tell you what. All right. Next question. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you confident when you walk out on the court now? Remember, not too many months ago, you said that you sucked and you would never win. And maybe I think the last time, honestly, and don't let me, I'm exaggerating a bit. The last time I've ever heard you say that, and I'm being serious, I swear to you, and I yelled at you that day, and I'm sorry for that. That was in Mississippi, and you lost that match to a girl that you were so much better than. I think maybe you were anxious. I don't know what happened that day, but I yelled.
It was at nighttime. She never played on it. The girl kept taking points from her. She had no clue that if it hits the tape and bounces weird, that it's her point, and she never fought. But I think that's changed.
Was that on clay or hard?
It was on clay. They put her on clay.
At nighttime, the last.
Well, now you're like a clay specialist.
Mm-hmm.
You play on clay more than any. When you talk about putting her in her next tournament at her level now, in other words, her real first tournament, put her on clay. Okay. Anyway, are you confident when you walk on the court now?
I feel like it depends on who I'm playing, because if I know the person and their game, sometimes if I know they're good, yeah, I'll be nervous. But if I know I feel like I can beat them, like I know my game can match up to theirs, I feel more confident.
That's a great answer and very well said. Do you think that when you go out on the court and you're just walking out on court, meeting your opponent, you're walking out, do you feel like that you can pretty much tell if you're going to win or lose simply during the warm-up when you're at the tee, when you're at the service line? Do you feel like you can already tell based upon their mini tennis if you can beat them or not?
Sometimes, yeah. Most of the time.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The most important part of the pre-match repertoire is the warm-up, and that's the warm-up starting at the service line. If some player walks right to the baseline and tells you, hey, I want to hit back, then I would still go to the service line. I would still get my feet warmed up like a boxer, like a prize fighter. I would still be floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, right? I would still be micro moving because key points are won on the short court. Today, Carl and I were watching a golf special from a gentleman in Nigeria that had become educated in the U.S. and moved back to Nigeria. And my father did one of his residencies for his MD in Nigeria. And so I was watching like CNN or something, and I saw this gentleman talking about his golf course or what.
It was a good show.
It was really good. It was heartfelt. But I forgot my train of thought. What was I talking about?
You're talking about the guy going back to Nigeria? I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know what you're trying to talk about.
That happens sometimes. So anyway, in terms of the guy playing golf in Nigeria, much respect to him. He's in the middle of the desert and using AstroTurf to create greens.
Yeah, that
and
was pretty
kids.
impressive. Yeah, the kids playing golf, that was pretty impressive. Especially it's golf, as we know, it's even more expensive than tennis. It's a rich man's sport.
Yeah.
And not only that, let's be honest, it's not an African sport. It's just not.
It could be.
They don't have the conditions. As we saw, like you said, it was all sand and some little pieces of grass, right? Yeah. So it's not the most ideal place to learn how to play golf. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like a tennis court there. The same thing. It's the same thing. Think about
golf would be even tougher.
Golf would be even tougher. So I was kind of shocked that he was teaching those kids how to play golf and they were listening, because they don't have the grass that you have in other countries. I mean, they do have them in some South African rich areas where there's country clubs, but not in the area he was in. So
agree totally.
Yeah.
So anyway, Lily, to squash this last question, I only have one more. As between the time where you were in Mississippi for that tournament and you got beaten by someone that you were much better than, I felt
especially with a little Spanish coach that's an idiot. But go ahead.
Yeah, don't get into that. I felt like you were just still very young and you were still very timid,
unexperienced.
And the thing with you right now is you have such strength. She's like her mother. Again, I always believe in humility, but Liliana is a very gifted person in terms of fitness. She's strong. She's fit. She has a great attitude. She's very helpful. She doesn't back down from anything because she's had 2 older brothers, and especially Chris. I love you, bro. But especially Chris, that has always given her a rough time. And it would be really tough, I think, at this point, Liliana, now at her age, to be intimidated by anyone, knowing how tough we've been on her. I think, Lily, you've seen a lot in your life. You've moved, you've dealt with this, you've dealt with that, you've dealt with restaurants, you've dealt with tennis, you've dealt with car business, you've dealt with so much. And here you are. And I personally, I don't think I've ever seen you, at least from my opinion, I'm not inside your brain, but I don't think I've ever seen you happier. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
you were smiling, which was good
you smiled. Like, yeah, I've never seen you smile after winning a match. She came off the court when she won the final. She had her high school team watching her. Everyone was so excited. Now, granted, these girls that were watching her are 16, 17, 18 years old, and she just turned 13. And the girls flocked around her, gave her hugs. There's a video of that transpiring on our shorts video list, so check that out. People stopped her. Hey, let's let us take pictures. They put her on sports radio, or at least her name on sports radio the following morning. And tennis rarely gets any type of coverage here. And at least at 6:15 in the morning, her name was mentioned. I thought that was a pretty big deal in Southern Alabama in terms of coverage for the game.
That football here.
They cover,
football when there's no football.
Yeah, they cover golf here and for at least 5 minutes, but tennis, zero coverage. And furthermore, and I'm not going to get into it, they have no tennis courts. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. We've done this a million times. Anyway, I do really feel like the difference between you saying you sucked and to now where you haven't lost in a long time is just a matter of you got a little bit older and more experienced.
I wonder, someone asked, someone said, I wish your son continued success in the field of tennis. I'm Asaraf.
Well, we do too.
I don't know if he'll try for the Air Force Academy. I think if Jonathan did well, trying to, the walk on, I think that Christopher will do even better. I think that I think that he can actually trounce a lot of those players just because he's very smart. Now, I don't know that he will try out. I won't push him to do it because I think I made that mistake with Jonathan telling him to go for it when he could have gone for something else. I mean, if he does play tennis, great. I know that at the Air Force Academy, the classes are very tough. It's very important to study. And to me, I guess being at the top of his class is more important than tennis because at the end of the day, I know he does not want to or even dream about being a tennis pro. So I'm not really worried about the tennis. Now for you, my dear, that's a little bit different. William Spencer says, I guess if you have a poor serve, you get used to fighting to win points. Never a bad thing. I mean, I agree with your comment about Irani. Irani had a terrible serve and was number 5 in the world. Yes, she could barely toss the ball up. Dementieva was another player that made 2 finals but never won a slam. But I think if you have a great serve, you can be a champion. I think a serve is the key. How many times has Serena gotten out of trouble with her serve? Osaka has gotten out of trouble with her serve. We've seen Roddick win 1 slam thanks to his serve. Federer get out of trouble. Even Djokovic has a great serve, and not a lot of people talk about his serve. He's got a very good serve.
It's very accurate.
Very accurate. I think Nadal's serve would be less. But there's many players. Sharapova, there's sometimes when she threw in that serve and it helped her get out of problems, you know. Venus Williams, another player. Davenport got out of trouble a lot with her serve. You know, I think the serve is important if you want to continue winning.
Yeah, can we give a quick shout out to M. Asraf Nukman from Malaysia? We have people from everywhere that always check in, and that's the first time I think we've seen Malaysia. God bless. Happy Easter if you celebrated. If not, super kindness and thank you for being here. The serve is one of those things that dictates your psychology during a match. If I can't serve well, and I must say this is pinpointed towards you, Lily, if you're walking up to the line every time you get two balls in your hand, okay, and your thought is when you release the toss, okay, happy fingers up, and I always say happy fingers because when you're looking up.
What's up, Mary Michael?
Oh, Eminem Key, what's up?
And she's also playing in states as well for 6.
That's good.
6A.
So she'll be there tomorrow?
No, she'll be the Thursday. They play Thursday.
Okay. Well, we have to teach, so I wasn't thinking correctly.
We'll see her Tuesday.
Yeah. So happy fingers, just like happy mind, just like hopefully I have a happy serving day. We throw the fingers up, we watch the toss, you know, we're looking at it. And if we're looking at the ball and we see our fingers drop, all of our body language drops. We don't think about it. If my fingers drop, I pull my hand down and I tend to dump the ball in the net or have a really tough time with accuracy, right? If our serve is off, our whole game is off. If I can't get the ball in and I'm double faulting 5, 6, 7, 8 times during a match, much less per set, then I'm disgruntled, then I'm depressed, then I think I suck, and so forth. And I think this is where Lily was a year or two ago. She knew she had a weapon in the serve, but she would miss it more times than she would make it. And therefore, she double faulted a lot, maybe early on in the match, and then she would go away because she was beat down and she wanted to go to the car and, you know, kind of, you know, and I'm not saying pout, but, you know, I suck. This is really difficult.
A serve is tough. I think we all know that. Mary Michael, I mean, you know that too. You have a very beautiful serve as well. And I think when your serve is down, when your serve is off, your first serve, I mean, technically for myself, I think it's changed. Maybe in that video you guys watched, I was missing my first serve a lot, but I knew I would get my second one in. So, and I knew my shots, so going back to Ronnie, would overcome that, you know. But if some people, when their serves are down, the rest of the game is completely fades away.
So,
it just
by the
goes away.
Here's Mary Michael and Lily. I don't know if you can see that clearly. So that's Mary Michael in the black, and then that's Lily in the, I think that's a blue shirt or something. So
it's a white shirt.
Two good friends. It's nice to see you. Actually, she's more like a mentor. She's going to college next year, and you'll be in 8th grade. So someone that can really look out for you as you grow. And
Absolutely.
she might be your orthodontist one day.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Bring me the dog.
Get the dog.
But yeah, going back on the serve, I especially in men's tennis, if you do not have a serve, this is why I think Zverev has not won a slam. If you don't have a serve in men's tennis, you're in deep caca. You know what I mean?
You got him?
Come on, Marco. Oh, this beast.
All right. So, Lily, a couple of questions and you're done, and we'll get right into the rest. Lily, do you honestly feel like, okay, now your mother has always wanted the best for everybody, as we all do. She hopes, though. Now, by the way, she wants you to play Division I tennis.
No, I know she will.
But you know all the academies are D1 tennis teams, right?
Yes,
all the military academies are D1 tennis teams. Okay. Let me ask you a question, though. Christopher and your older brother have gotten in on strictly academics. They played the game, but they didn't even mention the fact, really, that they played. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
They didn't even try for it to get.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with their admission. Leadership and academics. Both straight A students since like your grade, 7th and before, just like you've always been. So let me ask you a question, though, about getting maybe a little bit of a break for the size of your ACT score or the perfection grades. One thing would be playing tennis, right? Do you think you practice enough right now to play D1 big girl tennis?
No.
Okay, that's a good answer.
There's never enough practice.
It's a good point.
You can never practice enough. You can always learn something new. You can always do something better. You can never have enough of something. Like, I don't practice a lot. That's because I can't. or neither do I have the time. But when I get the chance, yes, I am practicing.
Yeah, it's again, this goes back to, and I don't want to bring it up. We are having to move, but maybe it's a sign, like Mary Michael's dad, Watt, love you, my brother. He said to me, he was like, it may be a stressful situation, but it's probably a sign, meaning because they go to school an hour over here and we work an hour over here, and then we live an hour over here. The only time we can bring them to practice is on the weekends, because we can't, they go to school, they're gone, we leave, and it's impossible. So anyway, I really hope that moving forward, and I really hope, and I love you a lot, you know that, right? I really hope that once we get relocated and you're a lot closer, we are a lot closer, I hope that you look at your older brothers and understand that you're a better tennis player at age. You have a bigger serve than Chris has ever had. Maybe even close. His serve's gotten a little bit bigger, but you have a really big serve, and you're starting to land it consistently. Like some people have a big serve, but they only land it like once out of 10 times. They're trying to show off, but they can never get it in. You land that first serve probably 70% of the time. Isn't that about fair enough to say? And then you have a really consistent second. So your double faults are relatively minimal. And I think the confidence will come. She plays with a one-handed backhand, by the way, and I think that confidence will come in time.
You start whacking it. I'm noticing you're starting to get under it a little more. That's why I don't say much.
I feel like I can get it in when I feel like I have to.
I feel like you're getting through it, and you just need to play a lot of hours. At your age, I played maybe 6 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not lying to you. 6 hours a day. I had no choice, though. But if I could go back in time and listen to my dad, I really feel that I definitely could have whooped a lot of Sabalenka, Azarenka, Raducanu ass. Just I'm a confident. So you have a way better serve than I did. Even at 16, I never served that hard. So I think that, and you're smarter than I am. It took me a while to understand that I had to chip, slice, and do all of that.
Yeah.
So I think that if you keep practicing and put the hours in, forget about any distractions. Boys, number one, boys are a waste of time in high school.
She doesn't have a cell phone.
I have students out there that date boyfriends, but I feel like you guys are wasting your time.
Yep.
Life is short.
If you make it to college,
you will get to know so many guys and then regret not going out with many guys. So that's a waste of time. 1, 2, being popular is a waste of time because you don't remember anyone in high school anyways.
They don't care about what happens if you get in trouble either.
Prom, homecomings, trips, those are a waste of time. Just saying.
Yeah.
Waste of time. I guarantee you the reason that Steffi Graf, Serena, Hingis, and all those players were on the top is because they didn't worry about that bullshit.
But the long story short, if you want to be, we're talking about a high level athlete of any sort,
you have to give that up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give
up. Forget about popularity. Forget about going out, hanging out. That's just you might miss that, but at the end of the day, you'll be the one laughing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Again, the old saying: if you don't work hard, someone else will. And okay, now by the way, Gene Swart brought up earlier the fact that Emma Raducanu. Now it's a habit. Like I don't even have to say Raducanu anymore. Like the first video that we did when I went on a rant of how bad she really was, and then like 70 people unsubscribed as soon as it released. And if you haven't seen that video yet, and you want to unsubscribe after seeing it, it's on this playlist. It's like random things, Emma Raducanu or whatever. I ranted for like 2 minutes in my bedroom when I got out of the shower. Anyway,
it was on the tennis court, actually, golf course.
Oh, wherever. I think that was the Djokovic rant.
No, that was the Raducanu.
Either way, I think there might have been multiple.
No, that was the Raducanu. I remember that. I was doing a lesson, and Gabe and I could hear you say Raducanu. We were laughing.
You did it there too.
Yeah, let's go. So anyway,
in a tournament. I don't think she can win anything.
Oh, I got a new name here. Let me get this new name. Let me read this guy. Peter Stawaski. Let's go. Come on. Can she win Stuttgart? I don't think she can win a piece of sliced bread off the baker's dozens rack. She can't win a $2 bill. She can't do a damn thing. She can't even buy a victory.
The boss says, Liliana, you will be a great player. You have time. Always look to improve and give it 100% every time you hit
Darren LeBeau. Let's go,
you have
Darren
a great supportive parent as well, which is so helpful.
Let's
exactly.
go.
One thing I tell my daughter is I won't, and I hate that I told your dad this, but I feel like I don't want to make the same mistake that our parents made with us.
What's that? What was the mistake?
That they yelled and screamed and made us play so much to the point that they burned us out.
I never got burned out.
Believe
you got
me,
burned out?
Everybody gets burned out. Justin, you would have been a champion if you didn't burn out. Just saying, I don't want to make that mistake. There are times where your kids want to take a break. Give them that break. You don't need to be on their ear 24/7. Let them think for themselves. This is an individual sport. You don't need to criticize everything. You don't need to put them down. And I don't want to make that mistake with her. I want her to enjoy it and find the pleasure of playing a sport and not just being a chore.
Look, Darren LeBeau always talks about how good he hits his shots. Not really. I'm just kidding.
He does.
But
he
let
has
me.
a good one-handed
Yeah, he
backhand.
has a great game. But let me show you the racket he plays with. Okay, this is the racket he plays with. So he doesn't have that small of a sweet spot. So that's Darren LeBeau.
Damn,
That's his
Darren.
racket, bro.
Woo!
Come on, Darren.
Check that stuff out. Who are you gonna be with that Babylon? Oh man.
Let's go, Darren LeBeau.
They'll agree with me. I mean, there's a reason why kids like Djokovic quit tennis and they weren't good. I mean, you gotta give your kids a space. You can't constantly be on them. That old school tennis mentality and beating on your kids,
Go, Darren LeBeau.
it does not work. It does not work. If it worked, we would have a lot of champions. Just
Indeed.
saying.
Okay.
Can you string that, Justin?
What happened?
He's asking.
I don't know, man. That's a big head, but we could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
And by the way, we brought up Nigeria earlier. We follow or keep up with an organization in Kenya, and they don't have any stringing machines, but
Some do. That is just one kid.
there are a handful of kids that can string rackets with the tension of their feet.
That's okay.
And
I'll
a
pass.
stick.
I'll
Okay.
pass.
Anyway, Liliana and ending. And this is the last question for you, and you can depart. And us tennis fans and enthusiasts at the
Talk about sissy ass.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that. This
Yeah.
is Lily's last question. We're gonna get into smack talk and all that stuff. Okay, Liliana, the past couple of days at Mirror Lake, where it's our home basically. The past couple of days we have seen.
What's up, Cam?
Is that Cam Williams?
I haven't seen you in a while.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. I liked your bunny ears today.
I haven't watched.
Look very
I
cute.
haven't watched one of his shows. I've been so busy teaching.
I loved it though. Loved it.
I haven't
though.
watched. I should
Loved
get
it
on there.
though. Loved it. So cute.
Does he have a new hairstyle?
No, his hair was looking pretty good, but he had the bunny ears, and then I put a little happy Easter there. But we were going to Mississippi to get groceries, so I kind of hit it, and then I had to depart. It was when I think Fokina and Sissy Ass were playing.
Fokina has a pretty interesting hairstyle, by the way.
Hey,
But go ahead.
didn't you know that after Fokina beat Djokovic in the first or second round or whatever, that a million YouTubers were proclaiming Fokina is the clay court GOAT? He's a specialist. Fokina. I'm like, here we go with Raducanu.
No, Fokina has always been a specialist at clay. He does play in Spain. Is from Spain. I'm sure his background is, but I think he was born in Spain. He's always been a good clay courter. Let's not forget that Djokovic is rusty as hell. Has not played a tournament.
Exactly.
It can happen to anyone. I would love to see that happen in a Grand Slam. I will tell you that would be a different story.
If the same match that was played, let's say
Completely different story.
Let's say the match between Davidovich Fokina and Djokovic.
No, it would be different.
Let's just say that same match, they came out equally as fresh. In other words, take that Monte Carlo first match back in a while, Djokovic, and the shaved head with long hair flopping over it, ugly ass hairstyle of Fokina, and you place him in the French Open. And
I thought it was.
and if you place him,
so
can I
just-
finish my question?
So
Can
is
I
your
finish my
haircut
question?
better? So your hairstyle's better than his?
I don't have any grooming.
You have a trucking.
I just have it
hairstyle.
all one week, man.
Yeah. Okay. So Fabio is a great hairstyle.
But I didn't
Lord
cut it.
Farquhar.
It's just been growing.
Lord Farquhar.
Okay, so look, do you
Alright.
look? So do you think if the same match at the same point in time weren't Monte Carlo, and you went through time and morphed through a dune time zone into boom the French Open, do you think it still would have been an ass whipping, or do you think because it was the French and because it was the best of five that Djokovic still could have gotten heated up and still could have pulled
He
his
still
way
could
out
have
of
pulled
that?
it out. I think he's just rusty. Let's be real here. He's been going through a lot of crap. He might want to think about though getting that shot.
Anyway,
I mean, he might want to look at my son. They told him, hey, welcome to the Air Force Academy, but you must get vaccinated. No ifs, ands, or buts.
it should be a song. No ifs, ands, or
So
buts.
yeah.
Okay, last story for Lily. Then we're gonna get into the deep shit. Okay, Liliana, a question for you. In the past month, we have seen a lot of animals running around on the grounds at Mirror Lake Racket Club, right? We have seen, let me not exaggerate, owls, coyotes, turtles, lizards, snakes, possums,
squirrels,
squirrels,
salamanders,
rats. No, not a rat. It was a mouse.
Rats.
It wasn't a rat. Where'd you see a rat?
That shit was huge.
It was a big ass rat.
Huge.
How big?
Hit
No,
that thing
not like a fisherman.
like that big.
Not like that.
I was like screaming. I almost ran out of there. And that's why Christopher's like, I'm not going in there again.
You saw a rat?
Yeah.
Let's
I was like, I'm not going in there again.
Some pest
Where's the
control.
storage?
Let's go.
He's like, I'm not going in there again.
Where was it?
In the storage area.
Okay, that's fair enough.
He's like, I'm not going in there again.
Okay, but the big contender right here in this topic is a turtle. It's a turtle. Okay, nice little, super nice turtle. So about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, it rained really hard, and we got there in the morning, and there was not one but two turtles, and we did a video about this, and I uploaded it. It's on Random Things, I think, and there was turtles walking across the court. Okay, so anyway, we filmed the turtles, we picked them up, and we put them in the woods. We saved them. We didn't want them to get hit or whatever, so we put them in the woods. Since we saved those turtles, okay, or relocated those turtles, there has been turtles every day, like a turtle here, a turtle there, a turtle here, a turtle over here. There is turtle everywhere. Okay, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, and who's the other one? Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo. Who are the four? Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo, and
Raphael.
Let's go, girl. Child of the 90s.
And here is Mofo.
Okay, so not Carla, Lily, you look the same, but we have seen an abundance of turtles since then. My question is, do you think wildlife, namely turtles, do you think they communicate with one another? In other words, one turtle we put back and another turtle we put back went to their family of turtles and said, hey, Mr. Turtle, there's some really cool people over there that stand high off the ground and they're pretty nice and they put berries in front of my face. Let's go see them again. Do you think they communicate or do you think it's just straight random?
I think they communicate.
They communicate.
They're like, get away from the fish.
They communicate. They communicate. Look, and none of you were there when we saw the first two turtles. I had to film it.
Hey, I saw a couple mating like way before. I left them alone.
All right, Lily, thank you so much. I do want to reiterate one thing, and I hope that you listen. Number one, we love you a lot. Number two, yes, we're tough on you. Number three, you got big shoes to fill. And number four, understand we definitely aren't wealthy. So your ambitions and dreams need to come from hard work, studying your ass off and moving your feet on that tennis court and thinking tactics and not just whacking the ball, which you've never done.
And play hard.
But on
Monday is going to be super tough and those girls are going to be bawling. But you got nothing to lose.
Do you know the reason why Lily was able to walk through the state sectional so easily? Because if she chipped the ball to someone and they moved into the inside of the court and they hit their normal hard shot, it would fly 10 feet out. Look, I don't even think you had to work that hard to win that tournament. Do you think you worked that hard? I mean, you played well, but I don't think you were like. I think you were pretty confident throughout, and I think you were playing your short game. You drew them in, you chipped it, they'd come in, they wouldn't know what to do, and then you just lobbed them.
The hardest was the finals. I didn't.
But you still won 6-1, 6-1.
That girl
she still won 6-1, 6-1.
That was a tight match the first time they played. The first time they played was.
Well, it sounds like someone figured somebody out.
I just had to bring it to the net. Yeah.
Anyway, you are more than welcome to sit here. You're my everything. Believe me, Carla, you both are like intertwined. It's my everything. Roses are red, violets are blue. If it wasn't for you two, there would be no me. That type thing.
She's better than me because she's still innocent and not spoiled by the world. Not you know what I mean. Not screwed by the world.
Yeah.
So
she's still innocent.
She's still innocent. So
so you can depart when you wish, but if not, stay here. You're a big part of the show. I hope you remain
you want
here.
To take them off with you?
I hope this turns into a 3-part show.
All right.
Okay.
Piotr Raducanu got some talent, but she looks physically fragile. She had problems with blisters during her last match. She's weak, and that's the reason.
Josh Hennick, kind of like Heineken, but not really. Tsitsipas can't be number one. Weak on grass, not best. On hard, trouble mine. I'm just over with the Raducanu thing. I agree.
Me too. Totally. I'm so over that. It's like, why do we even talk about her? Let's talk about the 16-year-old. What's her name?
Who do you get tired of talking about more, Emma Raducanu or Nick Kyrgios?
Raducanu.
Yeah, I think I would rather watch Kyrgios jerk off with a water bottle than watch Raducanu lose again.
Anyways,
just saying.
Yeah. William Spencer short course slicing is the frying pan grip kryptonite. A lot of people don't know what to do when someone brings them to the net, they hit the ball out, or they don't know what, they're just lost up there. It just shows you that a lot of coaches are not teaching
the short game.
The short game. They're just teaching you how to whack the ball
Just
from the
teaching you how to
back,
whack
and
the
that's
ball.
pretty sad.
We have multiple students, that think they're really good at the junior level.
Yeah.
But if you don't just feed them balls right in their sitter zone on the forehand side, they got nothing.
Agree.
So therefore, they're not really good. They're just good at one shot.
Blakely's asking me, so Air Force? Yes.
Yeah.
He chose Air Force.
Blakely, yes. Christopher chose the Air Force Academy, and he will leave on June 23rd. So we'll have 2 at the Air Force Academy. Okay. Does Emma Raducanu, speaking of Emma Raducanu, does she have a crying chance at Wimbledon?
No.
You know, Emma Raducanu wins the U.S. Open, which was an off tournament. It was scheduled not erroneously, but it was deferred. It was right after COVID and so forth. Do you think Emma Raducanu has a hope and a prayer of even trying to satisfy the British population of her doing well?
She's going to feel a lot more pressure being that she won a slam already. So she's going to feel like she has to do well. And we know what happens to female players when they feel like they have to do well. And she has she'll have the whole Wimbledon crowd cheering for her. So I think I could see a first round or second round loss for her, honestly. Not only that, the athletes, I'm sure, are pretty tired of the stupidity. Like I said, she ain't
Met Gala appearances.
She ain't all that at all. I think they'll whoop her ass. I mean, look at Karatsev. Karatsev is struggling to win now.
Well, Karatsev, as we always said before, Karatsev was kind of new. He jumped in. No one studied his game. No one got to know his game. He does well. People start to dissect his game, try to find any video of his game, and then they learn his patterns and they overcome him. Same thing happened with Raducanu, and I vented about this 2 months ago on a rant, literally a rant. And it's still out there, and you can hear the rant. Raducanu is just a average player. And we said this after she won the U.S. Open. She's average. And at this point now, as Gene Swartz said earlier, that Raducanu released a statement that said that she trained so hard with her new trainer that her toenails fell off. So I got a couple things to respond to her toenails falling off. My father shared some sympathy for this young lady as being a physician and pediatrician and so forth. Shared the sentiment, poor girl, her toenails fell off. But I can assure you one damn thing. I got one toenail on my big toe right now that's hanging off. And it doesn't come from because I spent too much time in the damn gym. It comes from, 15 hours a day on your feet. Okay? Suck it up. Don't care you don't have any toenails. There's a bunch of players out there that don't have any toenails, but you just want to talk about it. Why do you have to talk about it? Because you were the one that won the U.S. Open in the subpar playing field, or at least the energy input. And with a whole bunch of Met Gala appearances and Kim Kardashian photos and blah, blah, blah Instagram posts.
Alice says, why isn't the short game drop shots and defensive lobs taught? I don't know.
It's a great question.
That's the first thing I think Christopher learned. Christopher beat people because he knew how to do that.
Okay,
Remember that?
Okay, so
he wasn't a powerful player.
So check out Cam Williams' comment. I love this one because he always brings facts. Okay, you can't argue stats. Okay, unless you're a crooked statistician. But he says if you take away Raducanu's U.S. Open points, I reckon she is 50 to 70 in the world. Great comment. Perfect. It's true. And even then 50 to 70 in the world, that might be giving her too much credit.
I agree.
Right? Didn't Flavia Pennetta say after that U.S. Open, like, gee whiz, if it was the exact same lineup that played in the U.S. Open that she won or whatever, that she wouldn't have made it past the third round?
Agreed. Yeah, I just don't see anything that I can say, wow, that's a game. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think that Jabeur has more of a game than she does.
I do too. I agree totally.
I'm just saying. Trouble mindset, it's over. I don't even think Karatsev's journey is similar to Raducanu's. True. When it says to say,
yes. But I get different ages, different sexes, and so forth. But I think what Carla is trying to,
they figure her out.
They figured her out. Karatsev came in with this.
They were trying to figure him out.
Yeah.
Now he's figured out.
Yeah, and because neither player had a lot of tools in their toolbox. In other words, if I'm a carpenter and someone hires me to just nail my roof down, then I can do that with a hammer. And Raducanu has a hammer. Right. But if someone calls Raducanu, hey, can you fix my drain, my sink, and my bathroom fan? She has to say, wait a minute. People figured out that all I have is a hammer and I can't fix everything else. So she becomes cannon fodder. Right. Just like Karatsev. And Karatsev is much older. So it's even harder for him to compensate. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Have you ever heard this? You can't teach an old dog new trick.
Right.
You know.
William Sturzer says, I go blue in the face yelling at players on TV, telling them to throw in some variety. But as bad as many players are returning short balls because they don't like playing, the slice drops themselves. Don't like playing, the slice drops themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know how to slice. The slice is not taught well either, as we can see from Medvedev. You know, the slice is really, and I think juniors have better slices than him. Older people have better slices than him. Elena Noir says, with the distribution of wildcards trying to get people into seats, she may get into Wimbledon. Well, she'll play Wimbledon.
Who, Raducanu?
Raducanu would definitely play Wimbledon.
Look, there is no chance in hell that
I don't
Raducanu
like Casper
doesn't
Ruud.
play Wimbledon.
I don't like Casper Ruud. Sorry.
She would. Why don't you like Casper Ruud?
His game to me is boring. It's subpar. It's the same bullshit.
Well,
Back and forth.
So you don't like his game?
I don't like his game. Not that I don't like him. I don't like his game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just clarifying that.
Don't like his game.
By the way, let's speak about the Ukrainian players for a moment. Shout out to all the Ukrainian players. Again, I don't mean to get into geopolitics. We're dumb human beings, and we admit we're dumb human beings. But a shout out to all the Ukrainian players that continue to train and continue to play tennis tournaments worldwide. Especially shout out to Alexander Dolgopolov that has been joining the fight with the Ukrainian soldiers as this. But Carla, if you are a Ukrainian tennis player, okay, that's on the pro tour, junior circuit, whatever, how do you channel what's going on in your home and onto the tennis court? Do you channel it as a positive, like I'm going to use my ability on this tennis court with this camera watching me to play the best tennis I can?
That's how I've done.
Or do you pull back from your training going,
No, I would.
Do you pout about it, or do you fight for it?
I would fight for it. Absolutely. I would show them what Ukraine represents. I would represent myself and the country that I stand for. Absolutely. I'll be like, screw you, and this is what I am, and I can kick ass, and we are strong, and that's it.
Yeah, and also too, if you want to talk about a tennis player with variety, with the likes of Ashley Barty that can just caress and feel the ball, Justine Henin, Stefan Edberg, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, anyway, the list goes on. A true tennis player can play the elements. They can add the spins and slices, and they can move around like a ballerina, and they can when they need to. They have the whole package, right? Mm-hmm. The Ukrainian army has the whole damn package. They have systematically outsmarted a brute force. So congratulations to the Ukrainian tennis players, and a big standing O for
with the help of invisible people.
There you go. There's a lot of invisible ghosts running around. Hey, Casper.
Don't believe everything you see.
Yeah, don't believe it. Might be a little bit of help. I don't know that ship that sunk. There might have been some missile coming from a submarine somewhere. Anyway, okay.
All right, Tsitsipas.
All right, let's talk about Tsitsipas.
I saw his coach, Motagalu.
Jack in the box.
Look good. He looks silky smooth.
Jack in the box, silky smooth.
Looks silky smooth as always.
Yep. Whatever you see a beautiful match going, you will see Patrick Mouratoglou pop up. It's not me. I'm not watching my student. I'm watching my reflection in the camera. I have to look very good here. I have to look very good. Do I have my logo? Here's my logo. Oh, I look very good today. Tsitsipas, he's my student, but I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about how I look.
Trouble Mine says, I think you got the geopolitical analysis wrong. Justin.
That's okay. You give me. I'll read your take. It's so. Put your take. I'll read it. I enjoy it for sure. I not enjoy it because it's kind of heartfelt, but I enjoy history on the military side. So I would love to read the other side of the story, because there's always two sides to every story.
There's always two sides.
I love that. I'll read your comment. Put it up there when it comes. Let me know if he sees it. Okay. And I do appreciate that. But Patrick Mouratoglou, can I tell you something that was wicked cheesy after the Tsitsipas Davidovich Fokina match? Stefano Tsitsipas beat Davidovich Fokina, and at match point, after he wins it, he falls to the ground and does a clay angel. Oh my gosh! Was that needed? Or was that just cringy and cheesy?
Wasn't that a repeat for him?
Who cares? Did he just win a major?
I can't tell people how to celebrate.
He just beat Davidovich Fokina, who people have complained or proclaimed that he's a clay court goat and a specialist. Knowing that 2 years ago, half of you have never even heard of this guy before.
Jose P says sissy ass almost choked to Schwartzman. I mean, He can celebrate however he wants. I don't think it was cringe.
It was cringy.
He beat Zverev in the way. I mean, he beat Schwartzman. Okay, he beat Fokina. Who else did he beat? Let's see who are the big ballers he beat. Let's find out.
Look, we followed.
I know. I just want to find out who are the big people that he beat.
We followed the tournament,
Let's see.
and every day we had the opportunity to record each match, but we were like, nah, we won't watch it anyway. Let's just catch the score.
I watched some of it. I like
yes, but we didn't watch the entire match in entirety.
No, I couldn't. I mean, I got way better things to do.
Exactly. You just said the truth.
I got way better things to do. Oh, let's see. So he barely beat Schwartzman. And Sinner lost to Rublev. And let's see. Felix lost to Musetti. Tsitsipas beat Fognini. Okay. Ooh, all right.
Good enough?
I mean, yeah, it wasn't that. He didn't really beat anyone that you could say, wow, except for Zverev. But we know
Carlos in here like she's asleep in class like this.
That was not a Djokovic.
Yeah,
that was not a Nadal. Sorry.
You're like this, like asleep in class. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you were like the ESPN analyst and you were like that lady that's married to
I was
Jalen
looking
Rose,
down,
and she's like this?
My eyes were hurting, so I was looking down to see who he beat.
You would have failed journalism class.
I'm not worried about journalism. I'm not a journalist class, but that just shows you how exciting Monte Carlo was.
Well, you know what always excites me about Monte Carlo is how beautiful the stadium court is. The stadium court at Monte Carlo, when they pan the camera off the, I was going to say north or south side, but I'm not sure how the camera's set up. But when you see the stadium court at Monte Carlo and you see the beautiful stands that goes up to the left, the big rock in the middle of the sea, and then a nice stage this way, Monte Carlo is a beautiful place. And by the way,
that's a good video he just sent me.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair that doesn't Stefano Tsitsipas live in Monte Carlo or Monaco?
I think so, Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo or Monaco?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Show this?
I don't know. It's pretty good.
Is this Darren LeBeau?
Yeah, it's Darren LeBeau.
All right, let's go, Darren LeBeau. Let's see what you got here, bro. Can you see that?
You're gonna have to blow it big.
Oh.
No, I can make that bigger.
Okay, I don't know. We need to work. We need to work to figure that out. Anyway, Monte Carlo is a beautiful place. I wish I would have an opportunity to hit on that court, right?
Absolutely.
It's not going to come. Come on.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
Instagram.
stop tapping me.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Okay.
All right. Last couple things. Iga Swiatek has won 20 matches in a row. Okay. Pretty good.
That's pretty good, yeah.
We talked about earlier that maybe the women's field isn't nearly as deep as it used to be. You know, I was a child and I was born in 1977. Now, you know, we had quite a lineup of ladies, right? So I'm not getting into eras or comparing eras. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But are you impressed with Iga Swiatek's current win streak? Is it impressive, or do you think to yourself, well, geez, if she would have done that when Serena and Venus?
No, I'm not impressed with that. I hate to say that. I'm not. Like I said, there's no one I could root for in tennis because they're all subpar. You got Azarenka crying over who knows what. Sabalenka can't get her shit straight. Sakari, Pliskova lost. Petra can't beat anybody. Wins one, loses one. Yeah, there's nothing in tennis right now that you can say, wow.
Yeah.
Raducanu who? Leila Fernandez who? Osaka still.
Sabalenka bathing suit ugly? What?
Still figuring things out.
Yeah.
No, there is just hard to no. No, she's beating a subpar field right now. Right now, I think the women's are at its weakest point.
Yeah. By the way, we went out to eat the other night and we had a waiter.
He was from
Romania.
Yeah.
And he ended up having a vast tennis mind.
Mm-hmm.
He had the wonderful the feedback on Simona Halep. It was a really nice dinner, right? And what was that? I forget what the name of it was, and I should know that. It was like anyway. I should remember that for this. But
thanks, tennis, Cam Williams. Sorry.
Let's go, Cam Williams. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if I'm sure anyone that's in comments,
sure everybody knows.
I'm sure everyone knows who Cam Williams is, but Cam Williams is energy behind tennis play-by-play. If it doesn't matter where you turn the channel to, tennis commentating is biased for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Chris Evert, she's going to be like, there's a lot of bias and people filtering into sponsors and so forth. But Cam Williams is a fine gentleman, Australia, young man. Has a new dog.
He's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
Yeah, and look, and we do this. We do this like once a week now because we're so busy, and we wish we could do it more. And we do it if it rains, but it hasn't rained in a while, really. Whereas to cancel club operations,
It's just been so busy because there's
Yeah.
a lot going on with Christopher's school. Now graduation coming up. They had sectionals. They had matches before. So it's been very busy.
But it takes us, put it this way, and again, surely he's much more savvy at all the electronic stuff than we are, but we spend a couple of hours just coming up with ideas and figuring it, and just for one show every like 5 to 7 days or something, and he's on it like every match,
which is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Yeah. Trouble Mind says, in this day, he said to you, at this day and age, given the history of West from the 20th century and especially from the past 20 years, and you accept the mainstream historical geopolitics.
That's a good comment. That's a good comment. Okay, so to agree with Troubled Mind here, we have a really I was going to say really good friend. We have an acquaintance that's from Pakistan, and he came over not terribly long ago. And I'm a very fair person, and I agree with your comment. Believe me, I do. And we had, again, the gentleman was from Pakistan. I won't mention any names, but he's an entrepreneur and a very well-to-do individual in the community and globally. And he came over, and it was just before the Ukraine war started, or military operation, if it's the other. So anyway, so he came over, and I told the gentleman, I was like, I really feel like there's fixing to be a conflict in Eastern Europe. And he looked at me and comically said, you know what, quote unquote, I'm finally glad to see white people fighting white people for once. You were at the table, and so were my children. We didn't say anything in response to it, but we understood where it was coming from. He didn't mean it derogatorily. He didn't mean it badly, but he was Muslim.
I think
he's Muslim.
Any war is tough,
and we're fair with that.
And there's of course there's bad sides to even the ones you think that are good and blah blah blah. At the end of the day,
it's okay.
At the end of the day, kids are dying. Children are losing parents. Parents are losing children. I saw it. By the way, it's fucked up. Just saying.
Yeah, it's a shit sandwich. And thank you, Trouble Mind. I agree with you totally. And thanks again, Cam, for sure. But yeah, I agree with you totally. And yeah, a lot of the topics that we write. Whether it's the geopolitical aspect or Sviantech, I'll tell Carla, hey, I'm going to play a little bit towards the right, you play a little bit towards the left, and then we'll figure it out. But most of the things that we discuss, we're very open-minded about, and we do see the other side of the tracks. We definitely do. So thank you for your comment, and you're right. How do we believe anything we see these days?
Can't.
My father, who's 84 years old, took our children out to work out the other day, which he comes and works with them weekly. And he used to tell me something, and it was, I think, written. My parents split up, and he used to write a letter every day, and there was something written on it in pen every day. I get a letter, and it would say, don't believe anything you hear, don't believe anything you see, don't believe anything you hear, don't believe anything you read, because it's all bullshit. And so, yes, Trouble Mind, I agree with you. And it was my job today, pre-writing, where I was going to play it the more right side and her to the left. But I agree with you. So his next comment, he says, there's no place on earth that underwent psychological and social indoctrination than the American people. And that's acceptable. We understand that. And it's very well said.
Mm-hmm. No, I can't disagree.
Can't debate the truth.
No, definitely
so great comment.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last couple things, the National Basketball Association, the NBA, the playoffs are ongoing. Is anyone watching? And don't forget, you Serbian viewers, and I know there's a lot of you, don't forget about Doncic out there. Okay, don't forget about the Nets and Durant and Kyrie Irving out there. Don't forget about what's Harden going to do. Don't forget about the NBA. Basketball is a very good sport. You can play it for a very long time. Again, I have done videos about rupturing my patellar tendon. My knee cracked in half. The thing is basketball players can't really dunk forever, but they can get out and move their feet and shoot the ball. I love basketball. I really do. And yes, I really love the NBA playoffs for sure. Okay.
I haven't watched any, but I have been listening to it for sure.
So I've always been a Lakers fan. I'm not a LeBron fan. My fanhood to the Lakers has zero to do with LeBron. I personally don't care for LeBron that much at all. but was born into a kind of a Southern California. That's where I'm from, Lakers family. So, they're out of the playoffs, whatever. So the only thing I can do is go with other California teams, namely the Clippers and the Golden State Warriors. But a Laker fan, but has nothing to do with LeBron.
Has anyone seen?
LeBron can go wherever he wants.
Has anyone seen that show on HBO? It's about the Lakers. It's really good.
It's a movie.
It's a
I think
series.
it's called like Showtime.
I've actually gotten hooked to it. So, hey, Chiliana, Amara Busars, you must be one of Lily's friend. I'll let her know that you came on.
All right, Ken Williams, I'm with you, Justin. Lakers, Kobe era, but not a LeBron guy. I agree with you totally. And honestly, too, even during the Kobe era with him and Shaq, I wasn't a big fan then either. I was born and raised out there, and I didn't move out of California until like the 90s. So I was more of a James Worthy, AC Green, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, that type of era. It's so devastating to talk about what happened to Kobe. Young mind, great, smart man, family man. He did have some drama there, but nonetheless,
everybody has drama.
Yeah, everyone has skeletons in the closet.
We're not perfect. So.
I was more of that 80s, 90s Lakers guy. And LeBron, to me, he tries too hard. It's not very fluid. He's just brute force, and I don't know. I've never been a really big fan of that.
I like him.
Okay. Anyway,
I just think his ego got to him.
Is what in comments? Can anyone tell me in comments? Look, besides the California team, who are you rooting for in the NBA?
I'm not rooting.
Who do you want to see win the NBA Finals?
No.
Who do you want to see in the championship? Is it Giannis? Who is it?
I don't have anybody.
You want to see Durant and Giannis in the East Finals?
I never liked Durant.
Golden State and Phoenix in the West. Who do you want to see?
Thomas Berkowitz at the Heat.
Let's go, Thomas Berkowitz.
Miami
Let's
Heat.
get down. And by the way, Thomas, holy cow, this is big. Thomas Berkowitz is the younger brother of Philip Berkowitz, and I've never seen his name on this thing before. Go. Thomas is a young. Well,
he's 12.
He's growing.
He's 12.
growing.
Aren't you 12, Thomas?
He's a young tennis player. He's a beast. Go Germany. Come on, Boris Becker. Let's go, Steffi Graf. Let's go, Philip Kohlschreiber. Let's get down. Homeboy has been winning tournaments since he was like this big, literally. Right?
He's St. Paul's gonna have a good team.
Let's go, Thomas.
Once you and Anders goes in, and
let's go.
Brother Philip
and his older brother Philip doing big things.
A couple of people I recognize there.
And his mom, Barbara, and their wonderful father, Dr. Berkowitz. They're doing great things. Let's go, Thomas. Great to see you. I think that's his first comment ever.
No, I've seen him make a comment before.
Really?
He probably sneaks in there.
Stealthy, clandestine comment maker.
It's Easter, so you must not be practicing.
Let's go, Thomas.
You must be relaxing with the family.
Let's go. Come on. Remember that Motley Crue song? She's the one that made me feel Dr. Feel Good. She's the one that made me feel all right.
I guess I'm not that old.
That was his song.
Okay.
Thomas made me feel good. Okay. Last thing, the NFL draft, National Football League. The National Football League draft is coming up in a couple of weeks. Are you interested in it? Anyone is watching?
No, because I don't know why people get excited about new kid getting picked, blah, blah, blah. You have so much to prove. We've seen so many of these young guys become rookies the first year. And then what happens? You know the guy with the long hair that looked like the Star Wars guy? What was his name? Tell me. And then now his career is shit. No, I don't care.
I'm getting dumber sitting here.
I don't care.
Why am I saying that? We had the first segment of this show talking about what college.
Yes.
What is our kid? And she's all interested. She's like, whoa.
These guys.
But you're not interested in them?
Trevor Lawrence.
These
football players, you give them the money too early. And this is what's happening with tennis.
Raducanu who?
You give them the money too early. They stop being hungry. Don't give them the money too early so they can keep being hungry. Got it?
Got it.
And that's why I've lost interest in that. Because these guys, they make money like, woohoo, I don't have to work hard anymore. And then you're like, geez.
That's right. Right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm out. I'm done with material.
Tom Brady, he can still play because the rest of the people suck. That's why. Unfortunately for Roger Federer, he can't do the same. But anyways.
Roger Federer, the first and last match he plays, he's going to need a walking stick and like one of those rolling things.
Is the real thing Cam who? What?
Who?
Who's Cam who? I have no idea.
So, hey, Justin, come here real quick, buddy. Come here, bro. Let me go ahead and show you the next player in line, by the way. Come on up here. All right. So this guy, by the way, This is Justin Jr. Okay. Now, Justin, here's don't worry about it. So here's a question, and we'll end it on this. It's Easter, Justin. Did you have a good Easter?
Yeah.
Okay, the camera's there. Now, Justin hits a one-handed backhand from the baseline with regular tennis balls and a regular adult racket. Well, it's a 26. It's 1 inch shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you're practicing enough, bro, to be a beast? And how do you feel like? You think you're going to be able to win your first tournament when you play it soon? Maybe. Why? He's my boy. He's my boy. My youngest of 5 children, and he's my baby boy. I love you, buddy. All right. We are out. Much love. And we will see you children's
Whenever.
soon, hopefully. Next rainy day or soon.
Peace.
Okay. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, by the way, no, stop. Freeze. $25 giveaway right now. And she's going to freak out. $25 giveaway right now. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
$25 giveaway. Okay. For those of you and anybody that watches this later, I will send $25 US to the first person in comments to answer the following question. Okay. Before you answer it, here are the ways that we can send that to you. Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, or personal check in the mail. Okay, I'm not sending cash in the mail that someone will steal. I'm not going to Western Union. But if you have access to Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or somewhere I can do it safely, I will do it. But if it's, hey, I got to send like a $25 passport to Armenia, like we've done before, right? Someone wants something in like Armenia, and then to send it there, we had to go through like customs, and it was crazy. We were like, forget about it. Okay, here's the question. We have 5 children, hence our name, 5K Tennis, and the new 5K Tennis stencil over here. We have 5 children. Give me their ages and their names as of now. 5 children, their names.
That's too easy. Okay.
Okay. Their ages, though, because people have been changing numbers here in the past week or two. Hence the trick question. All right. Let's go. Adios. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the
I have
soon.
watched Euphoria, but it's kind of nasty, very sexual, a lot of stuff.
Amara, I have never seen this.
It has my daughter. There's a character that everyone says looks like my daughter, the one with the curly hair. There's a lot of killing. There's a lot of going the other way. It's a very interesting show.
Very nice to hear from an Amara here. I like the
yeah.
name Amara. I like Tamara, but Amara.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It's kind of nice. I like that. Amara.
I don't know, trouble mine. It's like Valentine's. What does that even mean?
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Always staying positive.
Zendaya, yes.
Always staying positive. Be kind. Remember one thing, everyone, be kind if you can. Be kind, better yet, all the time if you can. Because everyone you meet, it doesn't matter who you are, whether your mind's troubled or whether,
are you supposed to say the age too?
Or whether you're Thomas Bruckwitz, Jonathan has 19, Liliana, yeah, but Thomas has Jonathan's age right, but not Lily's, not Christopher's, not Gabrielle's, and not Justin's.
Maybe he didn't have time to put the age.
So
there he is.
Anyway, much love to you guys. We'll keep track on comments. No, we'll keep reading comments as the show ends, and then we'll reward the $25 once we finally see the right one, and then announce it on tomorrow's show. All right? Adios. Let's go. Play tennis. Be kind, because everyone's fighting a tough battle.
Peace. He got it wrong.